In this episode, I got a chance to talk to a massage therapist from Connecticut who is struggling to attract higher quality and better paying clients despite having over 100 five-star reviews and trying several forms of marketing. It's a longer episode, but filled with a ton of practical ideas and strategies that you can also implement into your practice. I hope you learned something new and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Soft Tissue Treatment Revolution podcast, where we teach massage therapists a new treatment system that eliminates the frustration of not getting consistent results and produces long lasting pain relief for their clients, all while working 50% less. If you're new to the show and you have no idea as to who I am, my name is Dr. Matt Maggio, and I got my degree in chiropractic well over 15 years ago, but I've never performed an adjustment in practice and focused my treatments solely on doing quality soft tissue based work. And I believe that the best and safest treatments in the world to fix injuries and help people get out of pain are soft tissue treatments delivered by world class massage therapists. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the show. So, this one is definitely a longer episode, but we do cover a lot of great stuff that you can really implement for free right into your practice. And just a quick reminder, I really do love doing these type of episodes, and I also do them free of charge in exchange for the provider to allow me to record and share it with everyone. If you have questions on marketing, sales, client communication, figuring out the root cause of problems or treatment guidance, then please reach out. And if I think I can help, we can set something up. Info to do that is in the show notes or wherever you're consuming this episode. Let's get into the full interview right now. All right. All right, go ahead.
Gotcha. Hi, everybody. My name is Kurnar Fahiu. I'm a licensed massage therapist here in Connecticut, practices in Cheshire. I've been a massage therapist since 2018, having my own practice since 2020 when COVID kind of hit us. Um, and currently, what I'm struggling with is essentially, I think, the acquisition of clients, not so much the retaining of clients. Um, and I mean that's really it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'd been talking for a little while, and I thought this would be a good exercise to record and share with everyone else to kind of help in there as well. So we had kind of talked off camera a little bit right before we started the video, but we talked about, and I was saying I had a podcast that just came out, and talking about the idea of like you can be anything you want to be, but you can't be everything. And I think this is a big mistake that happens with a lot of massage therapists. They want to try to be relaxation, recovery, injury all in one. And I go back to this idea of like in the dentist office where like you have someone that shows you how to brush and floss, you have a hygienist and you have a dentist. It'd be kind of weird if like the dentist drilled your tooth and then did the cleaning afterwards, or if the hygienist cleaned your teeth and then drilled it afterwards. And I think that's what happens is there's not like a clear identity of who you are and what you do and what you solve and the problems that you do to help people. So then you have a confused client. And one thing when you and me were talking was you have awesome reviews, right? You got like 100 plus five-star reviews,
Yeah.
but you're not really seeing that come to fruition as much as you'd like to. You have availability, you have that. And it's really just trying to identify the correct clients and use the right type of marketing and stuff like that. You've tried social media, you're trying some Groupon stuff. We talked off camera. I'm not a big fan of Groupon, but I like the way that you're doing Groupon. He was telling me he's doing a Groupon where they have to buy three up front, which is good. It gets him a little bit more committed. He's taking a little bit of a hit on price from that, but he's also getting a little more active type of Groupon person because sometimes when they're doing just one, they're going to be cheap and they're always going to go for cheap.
Yeah.
So there's some things you can clean up in your process and your education, and he's going to see how the retention goes on that too. Sometimes it is a bigger jump because he was saying it's about 40 to 50 bucks he gets off the Groupon, and then he's about 120 per hour, so it might be a bigger jump, but you're also getting a couple opportunities to be in front of him instead of just that one opportunity. So what we're going to really try to figure out here is, you know, who you want to help, how you want to help, and really clearing up your messaging and what you say and how you do it, and then really focusing on the acquisition side of things and getting where it is. So when I'm looking at a client, there's a couple, there's a lot of things that we want to look at.
Mhm.
But from a business standpoint, a client is really only looking. I think when we talked, you really like the injury side of things, like the injury and pain treatment. So
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, this is what I do, this is what I teach. So we're going to talk about that. Like, I'm fine with relaxation and all that, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not anybody can do it. I think it's low skill,
Yeah.
not trying to offend anybody, but there's more people out there that want their problem fixed and are injured and are willing
Yeah.
to invest money into it too. Because that's the other thing too is pricing doesn't come in as much when you're actually solving a problem. Where if you're just providing a service, you get stuck in what I call the commodity trap, uh, where you're getting compared to everyone else. You're like, oh, so and so down the street charges 130. I'm going to charge 120 or I'm going to charge 140. But the client really doesn't know. And a lot of times they just decide on price. They don't even look at the reviews. They just decide on price. So
Mhm.
there's a couple of things the clients just need to see from you is number one is they need to see that you're a true expert at what you do.
Yeah.
Um, and the biggest thing that I do and I tell people is like specialize in something. Start with chronic pain, and then narrow it down. I say either be like the neck, shoulder, upper arm person or the low back, hip, or whatever. Because
Yep.
at the end of the day, and I probably said this a million times, is specialists get paid 10 times more than generalists. So people are looking for a problem, and you're like, hey, I'm a neck and shoulder specialist. They're going to be more likely to see you. Next is they just want to see that you're like really enthusiastic, like you're feeling it, you want to talk about it, you're excited about it, you're not just there kind of going through the motions.
Yep.
Um, and the next one is you're just sharp as a tack, like you know your stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you narrow down your focus of what you do, because that just allows you to have to know less.
Yeah.
Um, and I learned this from the orthopedic model. Like if you hurt your shoulder, you go to the orthopedic doctor that does shoulder. You don't go to the one that does head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Yeah.
And massage therapists get stuck in this idea of like wanting, they don't want to miss out on anything. They're like, well, I'll treat anything, a foot, an ankle, or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
you're not really good at anything. You're kind of stuck there. So that's the part there. Then, in order to get what's a person who wants to buy, wants to commit, there's 5 aspects that we're always going to look for. The first thing is they have to trust the product. They have
Yep.
to trust the product and what you do. Next is they have to trust the business. And lastly, they have to trust you. So you're doing good with that with your reviews. The reviews are good because it's going to help you on that aspect as far as the product and the business. But they don't fully trust you yet because what happens is you're probably not putting yourself out there enough either. You know, a lot of people don't want to like
Yeah.
share on social media. They don't want to talk. They want to get to know you and they want to trust you as a person.
Yeah.
Now, the ones that are really important is they have to have what's called a low action threshold. Like they have to be willing to take action.
Okay.
So there's some people that are like they'll wait forever. They'll never do anything. They'll never take
Gotcha.
action. They have to be willing to take action. So a big thing that I do in my practice and it's really helped me is I say, I won't even see you unless you've seen at least 2 other providers.
Yeah.
Um, that's showing me that you've been proactive with this and you're going. I'm not just the first person you see and you're trying that out.
Yep.
A lot of times when they're not taking action, they're not involved, they're not going to follow through. They're looking for like one off visits. I call them like looky loos or tire kickers and stuff like that. And
Yep.
then the last one is they have to have a high pain level. They have to be in pain, and pain makes people take action.
Yeah.
So another one of those that I also like to see is that they've been dealing with it for at least 3 months. That means that it's happened. They're dealing with it. It's affecting their life. They're willing to take action from where they go. And what happens is when those two don't line up, you can have all the 5-star reviews in the world, you can have all this stuff, but people don't really know. Then the other thing that you're running into, and as I look through your website, is you're not clear in your messaging about what you do.
Okay.
He likes a lot of people like to use the word therapeutic. Um, I think it can go either way. I think it could either go towards the pain and injury side, or it could also go towards like relaxation. So now you got like a confused buyer. So
Yeah.
they're not really sure what to do. So what I teach and what I say is like, this is what I teach massage therapists as soon as they start working with me. The first lesson we do is we change our identity. We no longer say I'm a massage therapist. I say I'm a soft tissue injury treatment expert,
Okay.
specifically for chronic neck,
Yeah.
shoulder,
Chronic
and
neck and
elbow pain.
shoulder.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, okay, I got that. Or if you lead with I'm a massage therapist, they're like, oh, I got this knot in my neck,
Yeah.
hey, you want to rub it out? And you're like, oh, this is stupid. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
But this is what happens all the time as you go. So it's like being clear with your identity and who you are. And like the people you say no to are more important than the people you say yes to. So a lot of times they get this FOMO or like fear of missing out. They're like, well, if this person calls or says something and they have a hip problem, but I only treat neck and shoulder. Like I feel bad for not taking them on. It's okay. There's going to be more people where you are because when you're in that expert class, the pricing, the follow through, all that's going to be much better. So
Mhm.
it's really lining all of those things up and being more clear about like your offer and what you do and how you can help. Because a confused client just never actually, they don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, and then you're kind of frustrated because you're like, I've been following you on LinkedIn and you get all these new reviews. I'm like, this is awesome. The reviews are really good to help push them through. They're like, they're not your main thing. They should be your secondary thing. The thing should
Okay.
be like, here's what I do. Here's how I can help because clients don't care what you do or how you do it. They just care that you can help them with their problem.
Yep.
Yeah. Thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I honestly, I completely agree with everything you're saying. Like in regards to my website, like honestly, I just like, they don't teach you website management in
Yeah.
massage therapy school.
Yeah.
This is what I tell everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
They teach you how to be an expert at your craft, and then they say you are a licensed massage therapist. And like, I mean, I've told many people, like, I go as professionally as I possibly can, but my friend group is like a ton of dudes, and I'm like, I'm a massage therapist. Can you rub this shoulder? I'm like, don't
Yeah.
use that word. And then you go into educational mode. Um, and then like kind of bringing it back to the website. Like the website was just something I think I asked my brother who does marketing
Yeah.
um to link me with somebody who can help me with my website. And then the guy he linked me, it was just a standard, I think a guy
Yeah.
from India. He was like, yeah, I can do it. Probably took him like
Yeah, and it's got like that standard bill. It looks professional, which
yeah,
is good, but it doesn't, it's not educating the client about
yes.
what problem you solve. Like,
Yeah.
and
Like
then they're confused and then they're like, "Oh, is this just regular massage or this and that?" And then you're like, then
yeah.
you're always like caught on the back foot like trying to explain yourself and where you go. And we talked about this earlier and I've seen this as well. And sometimes some people get offended when I say this, but it's just the truth. I think massage therapy and nursing are the only two professions that being a male actually holds you back from stigma and stuff like that. It's like considered more female
Yeah.
orientated and stuff like that.
My teacher when I was in school, she literally I was one of three male students in my probably 15 individual class. And she literally said, guys, like I'm just gonna prep you for it, but if you go into private practice, it is gonna be initially difficult for you. And I was
Yeah.
like, noted. All right, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I was like, while I'm in school, I'm like, I mean, do I think it's gonna be difficult for me? A little bit, sure, but honestly, my personality is like arguably like the first thing people talk about when they meet me. And even probably half of my reviews on Google will say he's a really great guy. He's very positive, like he's very
Yeah.
encouraging. And I'm like, awesome. Like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to give an impression to people. It's just who I am. And I'm like, thanks.
Hmm.
Like all I can do is my best.
Yeah, and that helped you on that front end where I talked about being enthusiastic and stuff
Yeah,
like that. But I do think that men have an advantage when it comes to doing treatment the way that I teach it, the
yeah,
clinical side of that and injury treatment.
absolutely.
Because the way I teach it and I do is like we don't do like draping, we don't do linens. It's like a very clinical,
Yeah,
very professional type of thing. And I've had a lot of male therapists that I've trained over the years that are like, people think they're doctors, like the way they present themselves. And I'm like, that's good. It's showing you that you can do that.
professionalism. Yeah,
Yeah. So then now we're going to look at the business, and there's five core functions to the business that everybody should know. The first one is just what's called lead generation. So lead
okay.
generation is like your marketing and getting in front of the right people that you want to talk to. So it's like getting clear with your message of like what you do, how you help, what your specialty is, and what it's like to work with you. Like I'm the this person. Then you always want to have some type of an offer for somebody. You don't know them, just be like, hey, book an appointment. It's
Yeah.
like what I actually teach is I do this thing and I call it like a no charge injury consultation,
Mhm.
um, where if they meet the criteria that we talked about, like, hey, they've been dealing with it for 3 months, they have the issue that you're actually fixing, and they've seen another provider, then they do a consultation. And this really helps you build up that trust factor that we talked about. So
Yeah.
when it's hard to build that up, but now it's like, oh, he's more legit. Like
Yeah.
he knows what he's doing. And it gives you a chance to kind of screen people and talk to them as well, but it also helps you slow down as the provider. So we teach you to like take a full history, talk to them, get a better idea. And this is a bonus for females that are listening. I do this. This actually cuts down on all your creeps if you're a female, because if someone's looking for some weird stuff, they ain't going to want to get on the phone and have a conversation before. So it's good, whatever, but it also lets you really show the client that you're like a true expert of what you do. So it's giving them the next step, because sometimes booking the appointment can like be a lot at first, like a commitment, but it's like, hey, let's just have a conversation and I'll get a better idea of what's going on and just see what I can do to help. And I don't say free, I say no charge,
Yeah.
because it has a better like ring
Professional.
to it than
Yeah.
just free. So that's what your offer should always be like, hey, if you meet these criteria, you got this problem. So when you're making your marketing, you're generating leads, you want to like be clear about what you do. Be like, I fix this. This is what I do. And then your content is all geared towards that. You can either educate someone, you can entertain them, or you can educate, entertain, or like motivate.
Yeah.
Like if I'm in pain, I don't need to be motivated or entertained. Like I think the type of content you should make should always be educational about what you do, how you can help. And that's where those testimonials come back in. So say you do get somebody that's on the fence, you'd be like, hey, well, here's 5 testimonials from these people that had the same problem that you had.
Yeah.
So it helps them build that trust factor as you go. So
Yep.
that's your first area of like lead generation. And when I say with marketing is just pick one source, one channel, and go all in on it.
Yep.
I like social media better than anything else. I like Facebook and Instagram still, because you can track everything. You can see where everything's going. It's easy to use. Everybody's on it. And it helps from there. Google's okay, but you got to spend a lot to kind of get where you are. Where social media is like, you can get a lot of like free reach just from being consistent and sharing your message about what you do and how you can help.
Yep.
So then once you get that, the next step is called lead nurture. So lead nurture is where they give you their information and they're interested. Now it's your job to pretend like your head's on fire to like reach out to them. So they
Yeah.
give you your information. Like I'm following up, text message, email, social media until they tell me to stop. So I look at this as like this is crazy to me when someone reaches out and then maybe you follow up like one time and then that's it. You're like, I don't want to bother them. Like people get busy all the time. Like my
Yeah.
rule is I follow up with you every day for a week straight until you finally either tell me to screw off or we get something done. Then I'm done with you. But I'm going to continue to follow up because I know you get busy. I was going to say, hey, just reaching out again to kind of go from there. And a lot of people miss that part. They don't really nurture them as they go.
Yeah.
And then they fall off and they're like, well, I got all these leads, but they were bad leads. I'm like, how many times did you follow up? Well, just once. And I'm like, you got to keep following up from where you are.
Yeah.
Next part in the business in the 5 core is sales. Sales is how you present what you do and how you do it. And the biggest thing that I want to teach and share with people is quit selling your time for money and quit selling a service, instead sell a solution. So your job is to like sell the whole solution as you go. And you should try to sell to them when they're at their highest pain level and they're the most excited on that first visit. So what I teach is, and I sell my treatments in phases. I call it like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 1 is where we're going to go in and we're going to repair the tissue. Phase 2 is where we're going to heal it. And phase 3 is where we're going to maintain it and keep it going.
Yep.
So I always like to sell that at a higher point in the beginning. I like to sell it anywhere from like 6 to 8 visits to really get them in a good spot,
Gotcha.
because it's gonna it's it you're selling a project. So this is the big thing I learned a long time ago is like there's 2 types of budgets that people have. People have like their daily budget and then they have their project budget. Like daily budgets like their rent, their food, eating out, like all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And what happens is when they do treatment with you, they're having to take away from that budget. So they feel like they're losing something. I want this to be a project budget. So if like your engine blows in your car, you're going to find a way to pay for it. Your roof leak, you're going to find a way to pay for it. Your body is just as important. So we want it to be an investment where you pay for it and you do it up front and then it's just done with and they're committed. And then this is going to help you as the provider because you're not going to be trying like every visit to be like, I better do really good today. And I hope they come back
Yeah.
because then you're trying to hit a home run. You do too much, you overtreat, you overdo stuff, and then they like don't come back. This allows you a chance to kind of get them better over a safer amount of time as you go. So I really want to sell at that high point when they're feeling that. And then it just keeps them committed from where they are.
Okay.
Then number four is just actual delivery of the product. Like what you do, what your treatments look like, how we break down each visit as we go. I teach this concept, I call it like win the room. So what happens is we sell in the beginning and we educate the client a lot, but we have to continue to sell them throughout the process and let them know they're making progress, they're getting better, educating them on each visit. And we get sloppy with that. And then what happens is when you're like, okay, it's time for your next package, and they're like, I don't really know if I'm doing better.
Yeah.
So a lot of therapists, especially massage therapists, really make this mistake of focusing so much on how the client feels instead
Yeah.
of how they're functioning. So everything with me has tests and measurements and videos and stuff like that. So we have real data, like
Yeah.
objective data, like, hey, your shoulder was here. Now it's here. Or you could only do 2 push-ups. Now you can do 15. So you're showing them, and you have to show them all the time that
Yeah.
they're continuing to get better because they don't know. And then they're like, yeah, I feel good,
Yeah.
you know. And then if your focus is on the symptoms, like they could just be having a bad day. Maybe they got in a fight with their wife, or they were up drinking all last night, or they're sore and they're like, oh, the treatment's not working because you're so focused on the symptoms instead of the actual function. So you show them real data. I learned this from my dentist. Like I had a cavity, he took a picture of it, drilled it, and then afterwards showed me the picture afterwards. And I was like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
better. So I always show data to the client and show them like real objective data. That in turn is going to help you on the back end with retention. And I call it retention and upsell. So I'm a big proponent of maintenance, continued care, continued treatment. I hate this mantra that massage therapists have, like, I'll just fix you so you don't have to ever come back. I'm like,
No.
that's stupid. Dentists don't say that, you know.
Yeah.
So what I do is I explain to the client, I say the first part of the injury treatment's like, we're going to go in there, drill the tooth out, get all that out of there. I'm going to show you some things to do in between, like brushing and flossing to
Yeah.
keep it healthy. And then every once in a while, you come to get a deep clean before it gets bad again. And they're like,
Yeah.
but I also have these things where, like, I present each time that I'm selling to them, I'm selling them the new phase on the previous phase. So if we're on phase one, and they had 8 visits, on visit 7, I'm having like what I call like a progress party where I'm like, hey, here's what you're doing. You're doing great. All this. Now we're going to phase 2. We're going to see you less, and we're going to do this. And then here's the pricing for that. So next visit, you know, in advance. I never sell to them on the last visit of the package because then they're like, oh yeah, I'll give you a call back or from there. So the other thing I do too is like I have a sheet ready. If they say that they don't want to continue on that visit, they sign a termination sheet that says, hey, I'm terminating from care. And it says, hey, if you do go longer than 60 days in between, you have to do a mandatory re-exam, and you're also subjugated to our wait list. So what that
Oh,
does
gotcha.
is it actually helps them make the smart decision to stay on for care and continue to go from there.
Yeah.
And that's like that retention side of things. The other thing too is like, don't be afraid to ask for referrals from clients like directly. A lot of people feel bad about that or asking that. And there's a lot of little tricks that I do where I give them like VIP cards or stuff like that. And what people don't understand about the psychology of a referral, it isn't about the other person. It's not about like their friend that they're referring. It's that they want to be the good person. They
Yeah.
want to be the one that, like, hey, you got to go. Your neck's messed up. You got to go and see him. He is the best. Hear what it is. So then what I do for those people is I give them like these VIP cards, and I say, hey, you can bump to the top of the waiting list if you get referred in. And that's going to build up a lot of trust already because they've already seen another person. But I'm asking for that all the time. I do things like handwritten notes halfway through the treatment and say, hey, you're doing great. I appreciate everything that you do. You've done awesome. My main goal here is to get this treatment to as many people as possible. So the biggest compliment you could ever give me is letting other people know that are injured and pain that I can help them too. And then when they do actually refer somebody in, what I do is I just go and I get another handwritten card, and I get like a $20 like Starbucks card or like an Amazon card and give it to them, right? Just give it to them and say thank you. It's like
Yeah.
it's so easy because when I don't have to pay any money to acquire that new customer. Like normally a
Yeah.
customer would cost me money, but that's like the best money ever. And it's like the
Yeah.
cool part about that Starbucks card or something they use, they're going to remember that. And every single time they do it, I give them one. And
Yeah.
it's like it makes such a huge difference on your retention and keeping other clients, new clients in as well. Because your
Yeah.
clients that have success are your best people ever. And for you having as many reviews as you have, you should have like a full stacked practice. But I think part of it is you're maybe just not asking enough for them.
I mean, I've definitely asked people, like, obviously I've asked people for reviews, I've asked people for referrals, but like in regards to how you do it, definitely not.
Yeah,
Like,
and it doesn't take much effort. And
yeah, no, absolutely.
there's something really special about like a handwritten card that was mailed.
Yeah.
Because it's not hard to cost you a stamp in 5 minutes. Just write it out and say thank you so much. I learned this from a supplement company that I really like. It's called First Form.
Mhm.
In every order on the packing sheet, you get like a personalized note, like written from their person, like, thank you for this, and this supplement is great, and we appreciate your business. I'm like, I'm gonna do business with them for life
Yeah.
because that people are like, no one's expecting that. Like if they go in their mail and they see an actual like card from you
Yeah.
and they're like, holy cow, like he cared. Like they already know you care, but it's
Yeah.
like and then it kicks in this idea of like reciprocity, where like when you do something nice for someone, they want to do something nice back for you.
Yeah.
So that's like the five core functions of the business. And that's where like it kind of all comes together and where you're kind of stuck. It's not that you need to do like more Google ads or more this, because we originally came on this conversation because you commented in the Facebook group and you're asking for help and someone's like, just do SEO. And I'm like, you can, but let's be more clear with your messaging. Let's be more clear about what you do, what your offer is, and how you help, and really getting yourself to like position yourself as like the true problem solver in your area. And then you don't have to compare yourself. You're not going to be comparing yourself to other massage therapists. Now you're going to be in a different playing field. You're going to be up there with the chiropractors and the physical therapists,
Yeah.
um, competing with them. And honestly, you have way better skills than they do. Like this is why I went to chiropractic school, but I don't do adjustments and I just teach soft tissue stuff because it works. So massage therapists have an advantage, but they got to get out of their head. They got to
Yeah.
get out of the head of like, well, the industry says this and it says this. And I'm like, screw that. You don't
Yeah.
need that. Like, be your own person and like fix problems, solve problems, be the problem solver, narrow down what you do, be clear with your messaging, and then just make content and share it. Like, who cares what you look like? Just make a video and be like, hey, I'm here to, you got like tight traps in your neck. You've done all this like massage and foam rolling and stretching. What's actually going on is there's this nerve that's stuck there. It's called the
Yeah.
accessory nerve. It gets stuck in the muscles and it needs a really precise and focused type of treatment. This is what I do. Here's a quick little video of me doing it. Hey, you're dealing with tight traps, been seeing a lot of people not getting any better. Hey, reach out to us, send me a message, and request a no charge consultation. We'll have a conversation about what's going on and see what I can do to help.
Yeah.
And it's just continuing to show up over and over again
Yeah.
and
Like
being consistent.
it sounds like everything you do just piles onto your level of professionalism. And I'm like, you started off here, and I'm like, wow, he's really professional. I know you are, but like then it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, well, yeah, like it makes
Yeah.
sense, but it's like it's literally just the practical application of it is like something I've never done. So it's like,
Yeah. And
oh,
it's not,
like
I'm kind of like new to the massage world of teaching because it's so different. Everyone's
yeah,
like, well, what do that? I'm like, no, don't do that. Do the opposite. Be like a heretic. Be
yeah,
the opposite. I'm like, and I talk crap on people all the time. I'm like, I'm fine. Like, if you want to do like energy healing and crystals and whatever, cool. Like,
yeah,
that's fine. But if someone's shoulder's messed up, like, I'm going to kick your butt every time
yeah,
because this is what I do. Like,
yeah,
there's like, but the problem is everyone gets lumped into one category. And it's like,
yeah,
oh, you're all the same. I'm like, I'm not. And it starts with that identity right off the bat. I am
yeah,
a soft tissue injury treatment specialist. What is that? Hey, now you open up the road for a conversation.
yeah,
And the thing about marketing, it doesn't have to be perfect. There's some of the best marketing you ever see is just like real, raw, like
footage.
when it's all like overproduced with lights and I'm like, I don't watch that. When it's someone just, I built my whole practice just doing what I'm doing right now, sitting in front of a microphone in a camera and be like, hey, someone asked me a question today about cortisone shots. What do I think? I'm like, here's
Mhm.
what it is. Okay. And then you know what? They might not be ready to buy at that point, but they're going to see your stuff more and more. And I say, just get consistent. Like, first, just be like, hey, I'm just going to make one post this week. Okay, that goes good. Okay, now I'm going to make two. Now I'm going to make three. And then it's like, then you have consistency. Then what you also have is you have a bunch of proof about what you do. So
Yeah.
say someone stumbles on your page, say you run an ad on Instagram and they stumble on your page and you got, I'm amazed. I see these people that just piss money away on social media ads. Social media is great because you can actually target, you can do things correctly, your area, age, all that. And I'll get like targeted ads from people in like California. I'm like, for massage. I'm like, what are you doing, man? You're not even, you're just wasting your money. So then I'll go to their page and they got like two posts from like 5 years ago. So when you come to my page, I'm stacked with
Yeah.
information because what else happens is that's going to help me um, continue to convince the client as well. Be like, hey, here's this video I'm going to send you. And they're like, okay. And then that builds up your trust. That your biggest thing is, yeah, you can have all the reviews in the world and that's great, but they got to trust you.
Yeah.
And honestly, you had told me this, and this is this. Whenever I tell people this, they always are like, "That sounds crazy." Um, you said you got like 105 reviews, right? I think like
Yeah.
something around there, and
Oh,
only
well,
you got
105, 104 5-star reviews on Google. One 4-star review to a client that I like. Essentially, she wrote, "I miss my massages," and it was a client that I was like, "I'm not working on you anymore." It was
yeah,
excessive. I was like, "I'm not working on you anymore. Have a great day."
yeah.
And
So what?
then
So the thing that I say, and people think this is crazy, and if you got some nice friends, this might help you a little bit too.
yeah,
Is when I'm looking at reviews and I see all 5 stars, my BS meter goes off a little bit. I'm not saying
yeah, yeah,
they're not legit. What
yeah.
I want to see is a bunch of 5 stars and a few 1 stars. And I want to see like 1 stars of like ridiculous people be like, oh, he charged too much, or he
Okay.
was like this or that. And I'm like, yeah, I love that because then that shows the client that like it's like legitimate. And I always
Yeah, yeah.
respond back to those too. So even if you got a friend, be like, hey, go write me a bad review and say that I was really good at what I did, but I was way too expensive. And that like people will see that and they'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. That helps too as you go.
Okay.
But that's not a big thing, but I'm just saying like a lot of times when you
Yeah.
see all these
So
reviews, you're
like
like,
my main thing for like I love my 5-star reviews. Like I don't think I
yeah,
get like I have an ego. I have an ego. My
yeah.
ego can't take a 1-star review. Have I
Oh, I
got
love them. I love them. It's a perfect
that's
opportunity
fair.
because you can respond back
That's
and then you
true.
can like I've got some of the most ridiculous 1 star reviews you've ever had
Hmm.
where it's like the person's just off their rocker and then people read that and I respond back and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, okay, so it makes your other reviews look a little bit more legitimate.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'd say for you is like getting clarity in your message, being
Yep.
clear about what you do, and then committing like consistently, to doing it and sharing the information and like just follow the stuff that I share. Like my stuff, like go through and share
Oh
my
no, I've loved
posts.
your like all your informational videos. Like I technically know these things, but
Yeah.
like when I'm working on like, hey, stiff neck, like I'm more so like of a practical application. Like, yes, do I know where the accessory nerve kind of is? Do I know that like the underneath the armpit has the highest density of nerves? I'm like, yes, but I literally just go, oh, you can't touch your head. You can't scratch your back. I'm gonna make you scratch your back.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's really good because you keep it simple for the client. So a
yeah,
lot of the videos you see for me, I'm educating the provider. But if you go to like my actual business page for clients, I'm like, it's like dummy proof. It's like third grade level, like, hey, you got this muscle, it's stuck to this stuff called glue. I'm gonna get it out. I never like say like fancy stuff. Like that's another thing that massage therapists mess up is they like over explain stuff and then they say like the multifidus at the attachment of the rotatories, and you're like, bleh. I'm like, hey, you got
yeah,
some muscles deep in your neck, they're stuck, and I'm gonna unstick them.
information overload. Yeah.
Yeah, keep it simple from where you are. But yeah, that's where I would kind of go from there.
Okay.
And I'll share some more resources with you as well. But do you
Yeah.
have any other questions for me before we kind of wrap up?
I mean, like I definitely got the important things down. Like we you mentioned it because the lady on your Facebook page mentioned SEO. Like SEO was something I was looking into. Like I literally just went to ChatGPT, what the heck do I do with SEO? And then
Yeah.
I read it and then I was like, yeah, I can do a couple of the things, but I don't I
Yeah, I think you're honestly, I would go if I was in your position. I'd probably for the type of demographic, I'd go on like your Googles are good because it'll build the back end
yeah.
reviews stuff and the trust there. But I would go all in on like Instagram and Facebook
Okay.
and just start sharing content and
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
That would be where I'd start, and you can do it for free
Yeah.
before you start, and then eventually you can run some ads and stuff like that when you get more confident. But
Yep.
yeah, SEO is. It takes a long time,
Okay.
but it can be done. But also, like, unless your message isn't clear in your offer, you got to
Yeah.
get clear with your offer and the
Yeah.
message. So I'll help you out. I'll give you some resources for that,
Thank you.
off camera here,
Yeah.
to go from there. But yeah, I appreciate you,
Yeah, absolutely.
hopping on here, and I hope this helps other people as well.
It
Because at the end of
definitely
the day,
will. This is
at the
good
end of the day, it's
information.
like you gotta be different. Like, if you're for everybody, you're for nobody. It's like, stand out, be different, solve problems. Because honestly, the best advice I can ever give you is, people that don't have a lot of money tend to have a lot of time, and
Yeah.
people that have a lot of money don't have a lot of time. So there's a huge population of people out there that want their problem fixed, but they don't have an hour. They don't have an hour and a half. But if you can help them and fix them in 20 or 30 minutes and get them on with their day,
Yep.
they don't care what the price is.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. So let's close it with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on here, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
All right. So I hope you got something out of that. Just a couple of recaps and ideas from it. Number one is, decide who you want to help and gear your marketing and messaging directly to that group and ignore the rest. Number two, have a clear description about what you do and how you can help solve their problem. Less service and more solution based types of things. Number three is, implement an offer and include it in everything that you put out. Number four, get so damn good that they can't ignore you. Number five, when you get amazing results, don't hesitate to ask those people to tell other people about you and watch your practice soar. I appreciate you checking out the episode. And as I close out every episode, go out there and be great this week. The world needs access to your amazing treatments so they can stay the hell away from the traditional medical model of pain pills, injections, and surgeries that only make things worse and ruins people's lives. I appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.